Market. Marketing again. Hello, one and all. I'm Bradford Becker. Welcome to Red Barn Radio, now in our 24th year of broadcasting. Tonight, we present to you Roots Music Southern Style, episode number 914. Yeah, all right. Born in the bluegrass of Kentucky and raised on Wyoming's high plains, Shelby Means is yet another outstanding master of the upright bass, making her mark. Her singing and playing has been heard across the country and around the world, from NPR's Airwaves, the Grand Ole Opry, and Bonnaroo to Telluride Bluegrass and Newport Folk festivals. Red Barn Radio audiences may well have seen Shelby playing with Della or Molly Tuttle. She's here for you and only you this evening. Welcome Shelby Means and her trio to Red Barn Radio.
Thank you. I'd like to start out with a song off of my debut record. It's one of my favorite ones to sing, and it always kind of gets me in a centered place before I start out on a show. So hopefully it will do the same for you listeners out there. This one is called High Plains, Wyoming. Know my pain, chained to the sky, tethered though they try to be free. Even birds long to be not chained to the sky endlessly. Chained to the ground endlessly. On the high plains, oh, I am so lonely out here in Wyoming. Tonight the moon dressed in black. On the high plains I ride, a pistol by my side. On the high plains I ride.
Good evening and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to Roots Music Southern Style. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. LexArts, Lexington, Kentucky's premier cultural development, advocacy, and fundraising organization, working for the development of a strong and vibrant arts community as a means of enhancing the quality of life in Central Kentucky. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Here's the host of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
Beyond her work on the big instrument she is standing behind, Shelby Means is also an accomplished songwriter and a heartfelt vocalist whose voice is rooted in tradition and authentically her own at the same time. With her debut self-titled collection of songs, Means invites listeners to experience the same soulful presence and adventurous spirit she has built her career on. We're glad you're with us for an evening of music and conversation with Shelby Means. Tonight, Shelby is joined by Sammy Brayman on fiddle and Joel Timmons on guitar. Welcome back, Shelby Means.
Thanks a lot. We got a song up next for y'all. It was my first single that I released, and I wrote it when I was back in college. It's more of the rambunctious, adventurous side of things. It was arranged by a group in college called High Altitude Bluegrass, and we traveled to Slovakia to perform this song. My brother and Courtney Hartman were among those pickers that helped get us on the intro. So this one's called Streets of Boulder. I left you in the pouring rain upon the streets of Boulder, cursing life, wanting love, leaving this town. The lonesome whistle cries, blotting out your haunting memory, and the train moves on and on. Who am I to leave you all alone? And who are you to watch me walking out? How are we to know it won't work out this time? Who are we to know what love is all about? 1,000 miles away, a million memories linger. Leaving you, loving me is more than I can stand. But I won't take you back, still I'm crying cold and lonely. And the train moves on and on. Who am I to leave you all alone? And who are you to watch me walking out? How are we to know it won't work out this time? Who are we to know what love is all about? What love is all about? Who are we to know what love is all about? Yeah. Speaking of travel, Joel, you better check in for your flight. I believe we're right on time for your flight tomorrow.
That's a good reminder. Yep.
That old Southwest
Don't mind me.
situation. Sorry, we don't normally do this on stage.
That's all right. It's good shtick.
Gotta get a spot for your instrument.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
What'd you get?
B41.
Man, it's rough out here. All right, well, anyway, I think we're supposed to play another song now. Oh yeah, okay. This one is another one off of my debut record. I wrote it in the mountains of North Carolina. and wrote it with a friend of mine named Langhorne Slim, and then put it on this record, and I'd like to play it for you now. This one's called Up on the Mountain. A man climbed up on the mountain, trying to find peace from a troubled past, seeking the old man in the mirror, trying to throw a lasso around the moon. Feels like the mountain is calling my name. Up boy plays up on the mountain. He's not afraid of the darkened path. A trapper trying to catch his prey, wearing the tail end of a raccoon. Feels like the mountain is calling my name. Feels like the mountain is calling my name. She said an eye for an eye and a buck for an apple. Lay it on the table or get yourself gone. And he said, damn this pack of wolves that stole my girl and all my money. That's the way it goes in this promised land. That's the way it goes in this promised land. A family left without a home, swept away in water, deep and tumbling. Never lost faith in love. It's a foundation that will keep from crumbling. Feels like the mountain is calling my name. 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 Calling my name. Well, it's right, I was born here in Lexington, Kentucky. My dad worked at the University of Kentucky, so I got a little blue blood running through my veins. And but when I was about 4 years old, my parents moved out to Laramie, Wyoming, so that my dad transferred out to the University of Wyoming, and he's an animal and meat science professor, retired now, enjoying his retirement, and coming around to all the bluegrass festivals that I'm playing at. And I feel like I had a pretty unique childhood compared to most people, because my dad played music and he played the banjo, and he would wake me up every morning with the banjo wake-up call. And let me tell you, it's hard to go to sleep or pretend that you're asleep even if the banjo is playing. And so I had to get that into a song to go on my debut record, that story. So we want to play that one for you now. This one's called The 5-String Wake-Up Call.
1, 2, 3.
As a kid, I had a hard time waking for the bus. My daddy had a special way of getting through to us. He'd pull up the window shade and sit right on the bed. I can still hear it just rolling in my head. That 5-string wake-up call, it's the loudest one of all, ringing off the wall. That 5-string wake-up call. He'd start out by tuning loud and sitting on my feet, and if that didn't work, he'd rip into Cripple Creek. Head under the pillow, he tore into Salty Dog, wishing I could just go back to sleeping like a log. That 5-string wake-up call, it's the loudest one of all, ringing off the walls. That 5-string wake-up call. I'll wake him up, Sammy. I tried in vain, I had no way to make the banjo snooze, but it still brings a smile when I hear Lonesome Road Blues. Way back then it made me mad and it seemed like a crime, but I go home and visit just to hear it one more time. That 5-string wake-up call, it's the loudest one of all, ringing off the wall. That 5-string wake-up call, ringing off the wall. That 5-string wake-up call. And would you mind giving me a little bit more of the fiddle mic in my ears, please? Thank you. We'd like to play a fiddle tune for you now. This one's called the Cherokee Shuffle. you.
All right. Well, folks, if you're just joining us, our guest this evening is Shelby Means. She's here as a trio this evening. And if you are just joining us, you missed 4 songs. So you should be sure and go back on the live stream, which you can do anytime, of course, and check those out because you missed some great stuff. But there's plenty more to come. Shelby, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
great
a
to
lot.
have you here. Great to see you. We have been looking forward to this for a long time. I guess it probably could have gone either way with you, with bluegrass music, with your dad playing banjo for you when you were a little kid.
True.
That could have gone south for you, but it hooked you.
It was a risk he took.
Yes,
he
did.
Big risk. But yeah, let's just say I didn't gravitate towards the banjo.
Did he urge that?
He actually wanted me to play the fiddle.
Oh.
So I started out on a fiddle, and I was 5. And
Did you do like a fiddle method of some kind, or did he just say, "Here, let's learn to jam"?
I took lessons from a woman in Laramie, Wyoming, that she taught in the orchestra. So she might have, I don't think it was exactly like Suzuki method or anything, but she taught me fiddle tunes.
Oh, all right.
Because the main intention of that was so I could go participate in the fiddle contest, the Wyoming State Fiddle Contest. I took 2nd place in the Pee Wee division.
Hey.
And I only knew how to play one section of Faded Love. And there's 2 sections to that one, I think, at least. So I was already kind of frustrated, but that instrument, the fiddle, Sammy and I were talking about how we each love our own instruments now so much. Like the intricacies of the fiddle and like having to know like how one person plays the melody to match that. She loves that. I love not having to know that on the bass. I just get to keep the rhythm. So eventually I played guitar, and the instruments got a little bigger each time I changed. But I was always singing. But I found the bass when I was about 13.
Oh, okay. Sammy, did you also did you do fiddle contests growing up?
I never was involved in contests. I grew up in Seattle, Washington, actually, and there was a big festival, Weezer, that was a contest that my friends went to every year. But I more grew up going to fiddle camps and attending the Fiddle Tunes Festival in Washington and a couple fiddle camps in California and Oregon.
Right.
And I didn't go to my first fiddle contest really until I went to Clifftop later on, which is in West Virginia.
Oh, yeah. And we're well familiar with that one.
Yeah.
So Shelby, you did the fiddle for a while. You did a contest. You won as a little pipsqueak, and then but then at some point you said, "Okay, I'm not meant to do this."
It didn't last, I think, maybe a year or something. I moved on to the viola when I was in 5th grade.
Okay, so you stayed with a string bowed instrument.
Fretless bowed instruments. It made sense, I guess.
So we're moving closer to the bass, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I skipped the cello, but I did go back and work on the cello a few years ago.
And what happened?
I love it. I love playing the cello.
And do you still go to it?
Well, unfortunately, my cello, the bridge it was someone gave me a cello, and the bridge started just folding up. So now it's hanging as artwork downstairs.
Talk about your singing. You went to college. Did you ever study voice, or just the way you have studied other musical aspects of yourself?
I did. I studied voice the most, I think, of all the instruments. I started singing in choir in 5th grade, and when I got to junior high, I decided I wanted to learn how to sing harmony, because I knew that in the jam sessions there were a lot of lead singers, and you have to know all the words to a song to sing lead, but I could pick up on a chorus fairly quickly. And I wanted to know how to sing harmony, so I switched to alto in choir, and that kind of opened up my ears to hear the harmony part, still hearing the soprano singing the melody, but learning just a different way to listen and a different way to fit in. So I think once I all through high school, I did show choir and audition. I was in the state choirs, you know, the things that you audition for. I loved doing that. I loved singing in tune and like learning the solfege and all of that. And then I got to college and I had some really wonderful voice teachers there. I did choir as well as voice lessons in college, and I certainly learned a lot. I even called up my college choir teacher, Dr. Lamartine, before I went into the studio to make my record, because there was one song that I was having trouble repeatedly with the range, and she gave me some good tips.
What kind of tips?
Actually, practice singing the song through a straw. Blowing through a straw, so that kind of puts the inside of your mouth in the proper positioning. So you're not like, I don't know, you're just singing it properly. And then then your body gets used to how the muscle is used for that range. And it really did help me.
And do you still do that?
I do.
Yeah, do you do it as a routine sort of vocal exercise to?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
it's really nice. I hadn't ever learned that one, but I'd seen people doing straw exercises before. But then she introduced me to that and gave me like, you start really low, you do like low, ooh, and then you go middle, ooh, and then you go high, ooh. But through a straw, and you have to really push the air to the bottom of the straw.
Huh. I wish we could pass out a bunch of straws now and we could all do it in the room. It could be an interesting sound in the room. What else did you learn in your voice training? And I ask this because I know now you're at this exciting point in your career where you're fronting your own material and fronting a band and probably doing more demanding singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are some things you learned from your vocal training that sort of help you, give you some longevity and help you work through, you know, allergies and colds and all that stuff that vocalists that we're all afflicted with?
Well, for me, I think rest is important, vocal rest and warming up. But I remember my voice teacher, in order to help me figure out how to hold my body so that I could get enough air for some songs. Like on High Plains, Wyoming, we're singing long phrases for a long time, especially towards the end of that song. And so I always she told me to think of the phrase like a rainbow, and at your goal is, you're thinking about the end of the rainbow, and you have to, like, you might be here, but you're like, okay, the end is there, so I have to know how much breath I have to get there.
Yeah.
Another thing she did was put a belt around my rib cage, and I had to hold the belt on, so hold my lungs expanded.
Oh, what a great idea.
It does bring in a little tension, which isn't a great thing, but it does help you like learn how far you can expand your ribs.
Huh. Oh, that's great. I haven't heard that one before. We ask singers about the importance of their training, and you guys work so hard. Do so many shows. I know you've done shows as a background vocalist. 200 shows a year, 250 shows,
Switch
or whatever
to alto.
else.
I tell you what, you'll get hired.
So, all right, well, good tip. Talk about, so you went to Nashville when you were how old?
I was 23.
23. All right, and you went there from Laramie.
From Laramie, yeah. I'd gone to college and realized that I was kind of spinning my wheels there, and I always wanted to leave home, but I didn't know how long I was gonna leave, or that would be the final. I moved out when I was 23, and my dad sent me with a sleeping bag, and he's like, you might need this, you might want to go camping. And I was like, I'm only going to be there a few weeks, I don't know what he's talking about. But I ended up staying in Nashville over 10 years.
Did he really imagine, or did you imagine that you were going to be there? Did you imagine you were going to be there for a short time?
My parents knew. They knew more than me when I was leaving home that I was just setting off on a journey that I don't know if we knew where it would take me or exactly what stages, because my main goal when I moved to Nashville was to just be surrounded by people that were better than me. And by just doing that, I hoped that I would be able to get better too. And I think that really does work.
So where were you at on your bass at that time?
Well, I remember going to a jam session at the 5 spot, and somebody called a song in B flat, and I didn't know how to walk the bass. It was like a walk-in.
Yeah.
A walk in the bass song, and I didn't know where the scale was in B flat. So I was like, oh, mental note, go home and practice B flat scales. So I was much, I don't know. As my dad said, after I joined the Golden Highway, he said, I think you've gone up a notch. So
Thanks, Pop.
I've incrementally gotten better just by surrounding myself with better musicians and going into the studio with top-notch musicians. You always learn a lot when you go in the studio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and talk about some of the folks that, some bass players you learn from. You don't necessarily have to name them as much as what it is that you learned from others who play that instrument in that, in that town.
Yeah. Oh, I have some great bass friends in Nashville that have really taken me under their wing. Bryn Davies doesn't live in Nashville anymore, but she, we went to a cabin like in the first few months that I moved to Nashville. I saw her play with Tony Rice, and I was like, wow, she's so good. And she knew a lot of jazz and everything, but she really taught me the importance of feeling the groove, of just like committing to the groove of the song. And that commitment is really important for a bass player. I think it's like you need a deep pocket, they say.
Yeah.
So that groove, Mike Bubb, amazing bass player. And I would just go out and just stare at his hands and think like,
What'd you see?
how can I do that? Like, I think I'm a visual learner, so I noticed, especially his right hand, he's slapping and he's really, like his fingers they're bigger than mine, but the tone that he can get from the bass, it's all in the right hand, that tone, how he pulls the strings.
And so you mentioned his hand is bigger than yours. Do you feel like you have a small hand?
No, probably not compared to fiddle players, especially. But yeah, like just like the thickness of the fingers, I think. But I don't know. I'm grateful for my hands. They've really gotten me through a lot of places.
They've been very, very good to you.
They've been good to me, yeah.
and good for us too. Hey, folks, we are with Shelby Means and her 2 bandmates here on stage at Red Barn Radio. We're glad to have all of you with us. Welcome, and let's get back to some more music with Shelby Means.
Yeah, we'd love to.
All right.
We'll take you out to the sea for the fisherman's daughter. A fisherman's daughter was she, knew the boat by the day she was 3. Her father would take her along. With pride in his heart, his daughter grew strong, and he'd sing, sing, sing her a song. Sing, sing, pretty girl, cast a net with your song. The fish in the ocean follow along. Sing, sing, pretty girl, sweet melodious sound. The sun has gone down, the fish gather round. The sun has gone down. 17 years now a maiden was she, spent her days on the banks of the sea. Her father, he called out her name. Daughter, here is my boat, you can fish just the same. And sing, sing, sing like I sang. A tall, handsome sailor was he, The sailor man gave her a ring. With love in their hearts, they married that spring, and he'd sing, sing, sing her a song. Sing, sing, pretty girl, cast a net with your song. The fish in the ocean follow along. Sing, sing, pretty girl, sweet melodious sound. The sun has gone down, the fish gather round. The sun has gone down. The fisherman's daughter went to fish the deep sea. On the day that she learned a mother she would be, but storm clouds rolled, she rocked in the waves, and she reached for his voice through her watery grave. Sing, sing, pretty girl, cast a net with your hair. The fish in the ocean follow you there. Sing, sing, pretty girl, sweet melodious sound. The sun has gone down, the fish gather round. The sun has gone down, the fish gather round. Thank you very much. Well, my husband, Joel Timmons, he released a record as well this year in January. February. I always get that wrong. But I'd like to have him sing a song for y'all next. Demonstrate some harmony singing over here. And this song is about where Joel grew up and that little home on the little island out in South Carolina.
It's a really fun call and response for folks back at home, or if folks in the room, when I sing a line, you can sing it back in harmony or in unison. I've been all around this world, but no place could I find that suited me as well as the coast of Caroline. And if I only had my way, you know that I would be on my little island home in a cottage by the sea. But my mother, bless her heart, well, she couldn't stand the change. She liked her town small, she liked her neighbors strange, and the money from up north came like a hurricane. Of all my childhood friends, but a seldom few remain on that little island home in a cottage by the sea, where my younger years were spent, living in a salty dream, swimming underneath the stars in the distant harbor light, with the lovers of my youth on those island summer nights. I've been all around this world.
I've been all around this world,
but no place could I find.
but no place could I find
Suited me as well. It suited me as well as the coast of Caroline.
as the coast of Caroline.
And if I only had my way,
If I only had my way,
you know that I would be, you know that I would be on my little island home,
on my little island home,
in a cottage by the sea,
in a cottage by the
a
sea,
cottage on my little island home,
on my little island home,
in a cottage by the sea,
in a cottage by the sea.
Thank you.
I went on The Hound the other day and played this song, and I just think it's important to play a song that has helped me with a little bit of just like mental health stuff. Sometimes it's hard out on the road, it's hard at home, and there was a while there where I wasn't feeling much joy, and I wanted to get to the bottom of it. So I sat down with a friend of mine, Samantha Ray, in South Carolina, and we started talking about joy. When was the first time we felt it, the last time we felt it, and you know, what do we have to do to get back to that spot? So we came up with this song called Joy. Joy amid the danger, joy, don't be a stranger. When was the last time I let you in? Any deeper than my skin? I find it hard just to say hello. Oh, the last time I saw you, we were singing in the street, building thousands of stepping stones for our neighbors' feet. Ooh, you were such an easy breeze. Ooh, now you're out of my reach. Joy amid the danger, joy, don't be a stranger. When was the last time I let you in? Any deeper than my skin? I find it hard just to say hello. Oh, the first time I saw you, you were shining in my mother's eyes. Oh, she gave me a sliver of light to hold in my mind. Ooh, you were such an easy breeze. Ooh, now you're out of my reach. joy amid the danger. Joy, don't be a stranger. When was the last time I let you in? Any deeper than my skin. I find it hard just to say hello. Oh, reckless mind, you are welcome to unwind. Take the time just to say hello.
Well, all right. Well, before we get on with more music, I want to take a moment to remind listeners that Red Barn live streams, as we were discussing earlier, both tonight's and on any Wednesday, remain available online for you to view at your convenience, along with live audio streams, compliments of WGAD.net in Central New York. Don't miss a single episode of our program, and for heaven's sakes, tell your friends and share what it is that you like about Red Barn Radio. Maybe they'll like it too. So we've been talking about this now for a while. The store is open, and we are adding new items to the Red Barn Radio merch store each and every day. Well, not every day, but certainly we are adding one new item every few months. This is one of the items that we carry. For instance, this Red Barn Radio mug. Do we have a close-up on that one? Yeah, but we do have other things as well. For instance, we have tote bags. What are some other things we have, Nick? Hats.
Stickers, I think.
So, stickers. So as you can understand here, we're having to add more shelving space. You may notice on the corner of Waller and Upper, we're having to build a new facility to house all of our merchandise. Some people thought that was a UK hospital, but yeah. So we're gonna build up over there and see what we can do. See if we can build this business a little bit. You know, when you purchase a Red Barn Radio mug as a gift or a tote bag, or hey, wait a minute, I forgot koozies, Nick. We have koozies as well. Yeah, when you purchase just 300 or 400 of those items, what that will provide for us is an opportunity to do some fancy travel. As a Red Barn Radio team, we need that to bond together. If you buy just a couple of these items, you can help us replace cables and do all the kinds of things we need to do to keep this show up and running week after week. So do visit the store, think about the holiday season and what you might get someone you love from the Red Barn Radio store. Next week, folks, buckle your seatbelts. This marks the return of the Brothers Gillespie. Brothers Aaron, Davis, and Clay began playing primarily in the bars in their hometown of Waynesville, North Carolina, where they could showcase the songs they'd written and scratch their itch to perform. In 2019, they decided to move to Johnson City, Tennessee, and what they decided was if partying took precedence over practicing, then they would just party until they could party no longer and then call it quits. Instead, Progress took the front seat, and they released their first album called Love and Death, which is a great album. In the time since, the band moved back to North Carolina, and they've steadily gained momentum, playing venues, festivals, and radio stations all across the Southeast, as well as continually releasing music, including their second album, which is called American Pastoral, in 2022. They've got some new singles, too. I know you're going to enjoy these guys this time around as much as you did the first time. So join us next week on our live stream for the Brothers Gillespie. All right, let's get back to some music with Shelby Means and the trio.
Yeah. Sammy Brayman and Joel Timmons backing me up on this old George Jones song, I'd like to do it for you now. This one's called The Old Old House.
One.
There's an old, old house that once was a mansion on a hill overlooking the town. But time has left a wreckage where once there was beauty, and soon the old house will tumble down. When the leaves start to fall in the autumn and the rain starts to drip from the trees, there's an old, old man who walks in the garden, and his head is bowed in memory. Well, they say he built the mansion for the love of a woman, and they plan to be married in the fall. But her love for him faded in the late days of summer, and the old house stands empty after all. When the leaves start to fall in the autumn and the rain starts to drip from the trees, there's an old, old man who walks in the garden, and his head is bowed in memory. When the leaves start to fall in the autumn and the rain starts to drip from the trees, there is an old, old man who walks in the garden, and his head is bowed in memory. Yes, his head is bowed in memory. Here's another song off of my record. It's an original. It took me a long time to finish it, but I'm really glad that I did, because it was called The Weirdest Song on my record. winds in Wyoming blow clear as a French horn. I hear each patient note born. This I know, I see you. I know you like deja vu, where the silver lupins bloom, blue as a June sky, mirrored on up high, old favorite tune. This I know like deja vu. At the zoo, painting faces 2 by 2. They're red and golden, memories molded way back in the olden days. So come on and stroll with me down her lane of eternity. Picture frames line the hall, along the yellow brick wall that paves the elephant's hall of electric memory. Deja vu, where the silver lupins bloom, blue as a June sky, mirrored on up high, old favorite tune. This I know like deja vu. Two by two, they're red and golden, memories molded way back in the olden days. So come on and stroll with me down her lane of eternity. Picture frames line the hall, along the yellow brick wall that paves the elephant's hall of electric memory. If you look deeper, you will see that one looks a lot like you and me. Oh, yes, I see you. We'll stick with the animal theme. And, some of you may already know that my husband Joel and I have performed as a duo band for a few years, and we called ourselves Sally and George, and that was named after my grandparents. We recorded this song on a Sally and George record in 2016, and it was time to give it a glow up. A bluegrass glow up. So we went for a quicker tempo and added some more instruments, and I think it turned out really well on the record. If you haven't heard that version, you should check it out. But we're going to do a version now that's still in that bluegrass style, and we're going to turn Sammy loose on this one. This one's for all the wild tigers out there and the wild women. Let's keep on kicking. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. No lock, no chain, no bars, no cage, no pin, no ink on a page. There's a tiger inside this woman who won't be tamed. Oh no. No smack, no jelly's lip, about the way I rock and how I move my hips. No sticks and no stone. Talk, 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 it won't break my bones. Got that wild tiger style, wild tiger style, wild tiger style. Got that wild tiger style. No shame, no blame. I won't burn and I won't hang. No flame, I'm gonna fly my flag. This cat's out the bag. Got that wild tiger style, wild tiger style, wild tiger style, wild tiger style. Got it.
No lock,
No lock,
no chain,
no chain,
no bar,
no bar,
no cage,
no cage,
no pin,
no pin,
no ink on a
page. Tiger inside this woman, and she won't be tame. No, I said she won't be tame.
All right.
Thank you.
Woo. All right. That was great. I love both of the animal songs. I think the elephant one's brilliant.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Well, Thanks
Yeah,
a
those
lot.
are two that jumped off the Spotify list for me. I just really enjoyed both of those. I am kind of curious to know. I'm kind of drawing a blank because I was so lost in this music. But what was I gonna
It
say?
happens.
Yeah.
it's okay. It's hard to think.
It is more and more so for me. I find day to day. So maybe you could fill a little space here, Joel, and just could you? Well, before we talk to you about your story, could you show us like a little bit of like how you all played that song before you grassed it up? Like, how did the two of you do that?
Yeah.
Like, what did you do with that as a
It
duo?
was electric guitar, like a distorted kind of a Gretsch electric guitar, and I think Shelby was playing drums.
Oh,
and
no
real
kidding.
slow, like we in the studio, we did like dong 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 dong. A lot more Black Sabbath.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like Black Sabbath.
No chain.
Yeah, it sounds like a third
Go on.
song, the unheard song off of Paranoid. That was okay. Cool. Hey, Joel, tell us your story. There's so many good things to say about Joel Timmons, who's been here before with us, and now we have something new to say about you that we didn't talk about before, and that's that you have a great partner.
Yes, we've been married for about 8 years, and playing music for a couple years before that. And I was here last time with Maya DeVitri.
Yeah.
Who when I was on my phone earlier, apologized to the world. I was checking in, getting that B-41 boarding zone to fly out to Seattle to meet up with Maya for some shows out there. So
all right.
I played with Soul Driven Train this past weekend in Virginia, which is my band of brothers from 25 years ago and childhood. We all grew up in the middle school band together.
No.
And still run around and play festivals occasionally. So I'm lucky to get to play with a couple different outfits of people that I know and love and trust. And
Yeah.
consider myself very lucky.
Yeah. Well, they're lucky to have you too. And I wonder if you could tell just your story leading up to the time that the two of you met.
Oh yeah. I was with that band Soul Driven Train that I was describing, and we were playing at the Bristol Rhythm and Roots Festival, and also Della was on the bill. And I saw Shelby. Wes, the drummer, and I were walking around, and he's a bluegrass guy, and we heard this good music coming down one of the side streets, headed down there, and we got halfway down. We're like, wow, this is all like beautiful women up there mashing it, you know? And I was
Important. The music drew them.
That's
in.
right. I was first attracted to the bass tone and the you know, the pocket, the deep pocket. But then we bumped into each other a little bit later on that day at the merch table and had a little conversation, which then didn't really go anywhere for about a year till the next year around at Bristol, when I realized she had a boyfriend, and I persisted and wrote her a song, and described our encounter, and then the early courtship and the rest of our life together, and it's all kind of been coming true little by little. Some of the details are imagined, but yeah, my most successful song, I would consider that one, Pipe Dream, that I sent her in an email when she didn't know me.
Good writing.
It was powerful. I called up my brother when I got that email. I sent him the song, and I said, what do you think about this? Is this like creepy or...
And your brother say, run away.
He said, I think that's the most brilliant pickup line I've ever heard.
Thanks, Jacob.
Yeah.
All right.
Got my back.
He was taking notes, Jacob. I was like, I should try that.
Well, good. Well, we're all going to be looking up the lyrics to that song.
It's a beautiful
this
song.
evening for our,
Yeah.
prepare us for our next trip to the bar. Yeah. Well, good. Well, let's talk about sort of the rules of engagement when you have a performing artist partner. Do you all have rules that way? I mean, like, for instance, if you provide Joel with a Spotify song, for instance, you text him one. Do you expect him to listen to it right away?
Actually,
Let's just start there.
It's really, I think it's, for us, a good partnership because we each have walked a mile in each other's shoes, in a way. Like, it's not as if I was working a 9-to-5 desk job and he was playing rock and roll. I wouldn't understand that he couldn't listen to that right away, or maybe he didn't have cell service, or maybe he was just so in the moment at the festival that he wasn't checking his phone. So sometimes our texts go, especially mine, I'll send more texts and they would go unanswered, and then like even, then eventually we'll talk on the phone. Oh, did you get that text? And he's like, oh, let me go back and read it.
Yeah,
It was
sure
like
I did.
14 texts ago. But I think it's pretty cool in that way because we each understand that each other's busy, and if we're off doing separate things, we kind of get what the flow of the show might be, or like, once you load in, you're kind of busy. You're not going to be able to talk to me on the phone or something, so
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah. Can you talk some more, either one of you, to speak to the sort of unique challenges of being married to someone who has the same career as you? My wife and I both taught school, for instance, at the same time. And that was, we sort of had to decide we weren't going to talk about kids at night.
Oh, right.
I think I remember, especially when we were deep in Sally and George duo stuff, that at one point, and at night my brain
kind of goes and goes, and I'm talking and Joel wants to go to sleep. But we had to make a rule, like, we can't talk about the band in bed.
Yeah, fair.
I think calling it Sally and George made that a little bit easier for us to like be like, okay, I want to see Shelby now, like, you know.
Interesting.
Sally can go to bed, you know, to have different identities. And it's, I don't know, we've been in different chapters where sometimes we're touring in different groups, and one person's home or one person's out, and then other times we're together, working in bands together, and I'm frankly not sure which one's harder, but they're both fraught.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
But
it's
both
easy,
delightful, you know.
I do think it's easy to get jealous sometimes of
Yeah.
each other's what can be seen as success or anything like that, where the time is taken away from the relationship and you're focusing on your record or you're focusing on writing a song, and you don't have time to, you know, just be, because if we're both at home, even, we still have to be working on our job, our business. So I can be jealous sometimes. What are you doing on your phone? He's like, well, I'm advancing a show. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Right. Uh-huh.
It's a good line. You should use that when, you know, I'm advancing a show.
I have to be in a band first before I can do
Why
that.
you?
Well, so you all have learned. It sounds like you've learned a lot about navigating that.
And we're always constantly learning, because
Yeah.
it's a roller coaster.
That's what you do in a marriage, right?
Yeah.
You just keep learning.
Yeah.
I was really interested in your song "Joy." That, you know, of the, and this will tell you something about me. I kept going back to that song over and over again. You know, and it kind of, you know, made me wonder: do you find it hard sometimes to sort of embrace that, to greet that in the busy life that you live?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the song's about, I guess.
Exactly, it is. And it's a good reminder, like singing the song is a good reminder to just sometimes take a minute, and even though anything inside of your life, in your world, or even outside, I mean, it can be, like, I don't expect to be joyful 100% of the time. I think it's important to acknowledge, like, my feelings of sadness and joy equally, you know. But it is when it becomes overwhelmingly one or the other, that's when I have to step back and, like, open up my meditation app or something.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a meditation app?
I do. Insight Timer.
All right. Use it during the day or mostly at nighttime to settle your mind down?
It's better for me if I do it in the morning, but sometimes I do these challenges, like a 10-day challenge or something, and if I forget to do the challenge in the morning, then I'll do it at night before I go to bed. Try to not miss a day. But
Yeah.
I need to get back on it because I've missed a couple days
Yeah.
out on the road.
Nice. So having played with so many different artists in supporting roles, I wonder if you could speak to the qualities you feel are present in the most cohesive bands that you've worked with, where joy was at the center of things.
Yeah. I think, Joel, you could maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
Joel
I mean,
has
each of you,
navigated.
all of you can probably reply to this.
I've been in bands for shorter amounts of time, like 3 years, 3.5 years, maybe max, and then it's time to move on. So there's usually a pretty good roller coaster in that journey. Like in the beginning, you're getting to know each other, then you really bond after a few 100 miles together on the road, and then you find a groove, and then something happens. We get bored, or different artistic visions come into place, and it's hard to it's really hard to keep a band together. And there's like an exciting moment, and there's like a picture, a snapshot almost of like the band when it's popping and when it's doing its best, and then things can can maintain. They can go up, they can go down. Like, I think Soul Driven Train is a really good example of a band that's, you've been a band for 25 years. So you've weathered many storms and good times and bad times, but somehow you still play music together.
It's a special thing for sure. Yeah, those are some of my oldest friends, and I think at various junctures with that band, we prioritize the personnel and like let people's lives and visions change versus prioritizing any specific ambition or thing. So it's modified for its own survival, and and it's something that I won't get again in this lifetime, and a lot of people, like you don't get your brothers to get together and play music with and still find that joy, on stage. We would have stopped doing it a long time ago if it wasn't joyful.
And Sammy, you're in a band.
Sammy.
You have a
what
band.
about you? What's your perspective on this?
I play in a band called the Onlys that two of my friends I've known since I was a baby, and so we've played together since we were 7, and we all kind of have different. We live in different places now, and we have different musical outlets, but we come together as a band whenever it feels right and fun. And we've just released an album last month, but we're just a very slow-moving and prioritizing everyone's well-being and our friendship, because it's kind of like a family band, and we're not really trying for any specific goals. We're just trying to enjoy playing and create music together. It's like my most comfortable musical outlet, but we only do about 5 festivals or gigs per year, maybe a little tour in there sometimes, but yeah.
Neat. I wonder if you could make any distinction, Shelby, about the ways that men work, or that mixed gender groups work, and women groups work. Have you learned any? Have you gotten any insight there about how that plays out? Whether traveling and performing, or whether in the studio.
My favorite little joke is that I've been in an all-girl band, and I've been in a band with a co-ed band. I've never been in an all-male band. So I can't tell you all for sure on experiencing all of those things, but I feel that because being in an all-woman band provided me some really interesting and unique experiences that we got because there were only women in the band. Like Della performed in Pakistan. We went on a tour with the State Department, and the only way that we could have performed there was because we performed at all-women colleges. And it's very segregated there, and it was really amazing to experience that because we were a band of all women. But still, sometimes the men in Pakistan would say, "Where are your husbands? How are you here without the men?"
Sure.
So it was sort of eye-opening for them too, hopefully, that we were independent. So that is a great perk of being in an all-woman band. We never had to draw a curtain to change clothes before the show. Like sometimes in Golden Highway, okay, we're changing in here, don't come in or whatever.
Yeah, right.
But I also think that when I was in Della, I was a different person. I was much younger. My personality maybe was different, and now then I was in Golden Highway, and I'm much more mature, and so it's hard to say what is being a woman and what is emotional maturity.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not sure I
that.
can blame anything on being a woman or not, but
No.
I did really enjoy the co-ed. It felt balanced,
Yeah.
the co-ed band.
Yeah. So, for instance, when Della went in to record in the studio, did you all choose a woman to produce the album, for instance? I haven't sort of followed the liner
No.
notes.
The producer of This World Oft Can Be was Brian Sutton,
Oh,
and Eric Jaskowiak
Oh.
was the engineer. We recorded that at the Cash Cabin studio, which was really wonderful, wonderful experience. And I do think that a woman could have produced the band,
yeah.
but what we needed at that time was Brian to guide the process, to help us with pre-production, help arrange songs, and then in the studio he's very calm and a clear communicator. So I could say the same for Maya DeVitri, who produced my record. And
Tell
she
folks
was
about Maya who don't know about her, who haven't had the pleasure of listening to her music and follow her work.
Yeah, Maya's an amazing singer, songwriter. She plays the banjo, guitar, and fiddle. And she started up in a band called the Stray Birds, which is a 3-piece band. And they had really amazing harmonies, and some of the songs from the Stray Birds were on my playlist forever. And then she struck out on her own as a solo singer-songwriter, and you definitely should check her out. One song that Joel and I got to sing on her record, Violet Light, is called How Bad I Want to Live. And she wrote that song about going on a hike in the Kololau Trail in Hawaii and having a near-death experience on that hike. So it's an intense song, and we get to sing it like kind of powerfully. But Maya, having navigated being in a band and then making 4 or more solo records, which she hired producers for, and then eventually she got to kind of self-producing. She's had that experience of many experiences in the recording studio. So that's why I saw her producing Joel's record, Psychedelic Surf Country, and I just realized, like, yes, she has the right energy that I want to bring in for my record.
Yeah. This is such an exciting time for you. It's really neat to have you here at this time in your career. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the challenges, personal challenges you're facing as you sort of look down a different path?
Yeah, I guess when I was making the record, I was figuring I might just release singles and try to make a little name for myself, and figured I possibly would be performing with Molly still. And then in January, I learned that she really wanted to go in a totally different direction. So then I started kind of scrambling and like, okay, I've got to, just step up and step out. And it's perfect timing because I did have the record in the can. I struggled to find a booking agent because I'm a brand new artist, although I've been around for I've been performing for 15 years based out of Nashville. To a booking agent, I'm brand new. Nobody knows my name. Who's going to buy tickets to see Shelby Means? Like, these are struggles that all new artists go through, I think. But I just kept asking and kept being persistent. Like, I really believed in the record, and I believed that it was something, even if I couldn't find anybody to help me, I'd keep putting one foot in front of the other. And eventually I did find a booking agent that was wanting to work with me, and that's been really wonderful. And we're booking out into 2026 now, so
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's also really exciting to get to put my own bands together, because I've always been a side person, and I've always been the one joining a band. So now I'm like thinking, well, who do I want? Who do I want? And what instruments do I want? And, it's important that somebody's a good singer, and just trying to figure that out, and then figure out schedules, figure out what I can offer somebody to join the band, to play with me. So there are a lot of challenges. I could probably keep talking on and on about all the challenges of being a professional musician, front person, but mainly I feel really excited that the transition was smooth. I feel like thanks to like getting the booking agent in time and having this album come out and just to the support of Maya and Joel, I've been able to just kind of keep rolling and not really miss a beat. I didn't really miss a summer. I still went on tour this summer, so that feels good.
Oh, way to go.
Now I'm working on writing my next album.
Are you?
And just going to be digging into that this winter and gathering songs, and it's always about the next thing in the music industry, so that's something I'm working on.
All right. Well, we will be thinking about you as you work on that, and I know it's a lot of work and hard work, and way to go. Congratulations for
Thanks a lot.
the work you're doing and the change you're making. Our guest this evening on Red Barn is Shelby Means. She's here with Sammy Brayman and Joel Timmons on stage, and now we have some more music for you. Welcome back, Shelby Means.
Thank you. Here's a song for a wild woman. She was my bus driver. Calamity Jane. Oh wait, sorry, let me do that. Sorry. Okay, I got it now. 1, 2, 3. Calamity Jane, Calamity Jane. I'm not really sure if that was her name, but she was my bus driver. A short little bus, not many of us. We got on when it pulled up. Said good morning, Miss Jane. How you doing today? Oh, thank you. Black. Calamity Jane always had my back. Whoa, she didn't cut the schoolyard bully no slack. Territorial Jane, field trip, riding a horse and cracking a whip. There goes my bus driver. Sure if that was her name, oh, she was my bus driver. Reenact the Wild Wild West, y'all. She was Calamity Jane's great-great-granddaughter. Oh, and she was my bus driver. You're giving me a million reasons to let you go. You're giving me a million reasons to quit the show. You're giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, about a million reasons. If I had a highway, I would run for the hills. If you could find a dry way, I'd forever be still. But you're giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, about a million reasons. I bow down to pray. I try to make the worst seem better. Lord, show me the way to cut through all this worn out leather. I've got 100 million reasons to walk away, but baby, I just need one good one to stay. Head stuck in a cycle, I look off and I stare. It's like that I've stopped breathing but completely aware. 'Cause you're giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, about a million reasons. And if you say something that you might even mean, it's hard to even fathom which parts I should believe. 'Cause you're giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, about a million reasons. I bow down to pray. I try to make the worst seem better. Lord, show me the way to cut through all this worn out leather. I've got 100 million reasons to walk away, but baby, I just need one good one to stay. Oh baby, I'm bleeding, bleeding, stay. Can you give me what I needed, needed? Every heartbreak makes it hard to keep the faith, but baby, I just need one good one, good one, good one, good one, good one, good one. When I bow down to pray, I try to make the worst seem better. Lord, show me the way to cut through all this worn out leather. I've got 100 million reasons to walk away, but baby, I just need one good one, good one. Tell me that you'll be the good one, good one. Baby, I just need one good one to stay. Well, thanks a lot. We'll have one more song for you. This one's called Farm Girl. That last song was a Lady Gaga cover called Million Reasons. And this one goes out to all the hardworking farming folks out there, especially the women that are planting and hoeing and shucking, you know, all the things that you do as farmers, wrestle with the greenhouses. Thanks a lot for having us here at the Red Barn Radio. 1, 2, 3. Getting out of bed is hard. My head's still on the pillow. I watch her across the yard. I've been dreaming about a girl out on the farm. She gets her breakfast from the hen house. The rooster's her alarm. Farm girl, hello heaven. Farm girl, she's a genuine farm girl. A Wrangler wearing farm girl. All American farm girl. At 12:30 I hear that diesel humming. Front porch guitar strumming. Tip my hat, she don't offer back much more than a wave. No time for conversation, she's busy making hay. Farm girl, hello pickle cannon. Farm girl, I gotta have that farm girl. By the afternoon, the heat is at its peak, and she's underneath the willow tree, feet stuck in the creek. Well, maybe I'll toss a fishing line. Hey, maybe I'll catch supper, or maybe I'll catch her eye. Farm girl, cattle branding, farm girl, hot and sweating, farm girl, herbal remedy, farm girl, a boll weevil enemy, farm girl. Yeah, I'd like to be a honeybee, buzzing around her wing. What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do? Rastafari, tall and tan, she's chewing the grass. She's got lavender tucked behind her ear. Honeybee, honeybee. Seeds bed, clay throw, and green thumb. Propagate, cultivate, and irrigate. Yee-hoo! A farm girl, a farm girl, a farm girl.
All right. Well, there are many people to thank for our broadcast. First, Shelby Means, our guest on this program. And then we want to thank all of you for listening to our webcast. Those of you who came this evening to support Shelby here in the house. Those of you watching us on social media, and those listening to us on our growing network of Red Barn stations and media worldwide. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn's premier radio partner, Central and Eastern Kentucky's radio news leader. You can listen online at weku.org. It's your chance to hear more great live music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Those of you here in the Central Kentucky area, you got to be sure to check out Red Barn TV. It's our weekly program of music, now on ABC 36 WTVQ. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall here in the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests in our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. Now, before we close out the program, the script says we may be able to get you to come back and play one more tune. Would this be true?
Well, what do you guys think? Do you want to know?
What do we think? Yeah, well, yeah. They're
Okay,
all
well, I
screaming
think
out in the world.
We know about one more.
All right.
This is that one I was talking about that I had to call up my voice teacher for. So thank you, Dr. La. Here's Suitcase Blues. Driving out of Nashville, crying eyes behind the wheel. Hurts so bad every time I go. I can't help the way I feel. After all, I made a deal. I thought I'd have much more than this to show. I don't know when I'll be back, but I've gotta go. Cackalack Jack, it's a lonesome road that I choose. Packing up my suitcase blues. 11 years of paying dues, glued rhinestones on my cowboy boots, kicking grass with some of Nashville's best. Then I got a road gig with an all-girl string band, dragging my bass through foreign lands, hardly home, heartsick and depressed. I don't know when I'll be back, but I've gotta go. Cackalack Jack, it's a lonesome road that I choose, packing up my suitcase blues. packing up. I don't know when I'll be back. I've gotta go. Cadillac track. It's a lonesome road that I choose. Packing up my suitcase. Driving out of Nashville, crying eyes behind the wheel. Hurts so bad every time I go. I can't help the way I feel. After all, I made a deal.
All right.
Thank you, Red Barn Radio.
Thank you, Shelby Means, Sammy Brayman, and Joel Timmons. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks a lot.
And that's all for our show for this week. Remember, you can see and hear Red Barn Radio worldwide as we stream live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. Speaking of you, listeners, please, before, during, or after you enjoy Red Barn Radio, take just a moment to spend some time with us. Your comments, your sharing, and certainly your choice to subscribe to our newsletter matters so much to us and keeps us growing and continuing our 24-year mission to produce roots music, Southern style, for you and those living in your neck of the woods and beyond. And now we bid you good night. Let's stick together, let's appreciate each other, and let's join up again for another great evening of music and conversation on Red Barn Radio. I'm Bradford Becker. See you next time.
All right, mark it.